Blake, pick a man, bring your kit.
I hoped today might be a good day. Hope is a dangerous thing.
What's going on? I'm CJ Richard, your host, and today we're going to be talking about 1917, the World War I film in 2019, directed by Sam Mendes, also director of movies such as American Beauty, Skyfall, Revolutionary Road, personal. It's not a favorite, but I like seeing Leo scream. It's what he does best or whatever. This movie is not considered a classic of cinematography, and it's only 2 years old, but when you get into watching it, you very much see why. So it's directed by Sam Mendes, and you got George McKay starring, and then Dean Charles Chapman, Tom and Baratheon, Andrew Scott, Mark Strong, Colin Firth, Eggs Benedict Cumberbatch, and Richard Madden make all their little appearances, but it's really just George McKay and Dean Charles Chapman. But most of all, the cinematographer, Roger Deakins, who is just one of the best. Sicario, Blade Runner 2049, Skyfall, Fargo, Big Lebowski, Shawshank Redemption. The man is just, he is respected as one of the best in the business, and there's reasons why. He was also the first Western cinematographer to use bleach bypass, where the silver in a shot stays with the print, and it gives a black and white feel on top of color. You can really see it. It really comes out, especially if you see his older movies. You can see how it starts to really take over as a style. Now, the film is an allusion to the fact of one continuous shot, and this isn't the first time this concept was used, but it was the first time it was executed for 2-hour feature film, and it's pretty amazing. Martin Scorsese's film Goodfellas has such a scene where it shows Henry Hill and Karen walking in through the back of the restaurant. Let's take a look at that scene.
I like going this way, better than waiting in the line. How you doing? Good. What's up? There you go. How you doing, Gino? Hey, all right, good. Hey, good. Every time I come here, every time you two, don't you work?
Yeah, this use of camera work puts the viewer into the scene. We, for a time, aren't viewing Henry like as a movie, but we're in his shoes. We're walking with him. It works narratively along with it, stylized the whole scene. Now, it makes us a part. We're in his life, weaving through the kitchen. But enough about Goodfellas. Back to 1917. The opening scene in the trench establishes we're in the shit. Wrong war, same context really. The two main characters. So they walk through, and you see them. They get this mission from the higher up officer, and now they got to walk and find the general, Colin Firth. And the submersion is so real. You feel like you're with them in it, and that was Sam Mendes's. That was his point. Was you wanted to feel like you are part, like you're a soldier in World War I, and it really does it from a lot of scenes. From that scene. Even when they're going through no man's land, it's very eerie. But you wouldn't get that if it was cutting from face up to face up. You're just behind them, and you're behind them and in front, and the camera pans around, and it really is beautifully done. The German bunker scene as well. That from following them like that, you get this claustrophobic and very very dark. It comes not like horror, but it gets suspenseful, like a thriller. In that scene, so each scene gets its own little effect from being a single camera, continuous shot looking thing. Now, if the shots themselves with how it moves narratively doesn't really spark your interest or intrigue you, let's talk about the planning. So the burning city scene, it's in the second half of the film. It's just wild to me, absolutely wild. There's only one way to describe it. It's crazy. So the whole film. They make little mini dioramas, mini sets that they built on the scale so they can map it out. Because with this whole one-shot deal, there's so much planning involved. So they map out the entire shot, and then God's gift of cinematography, Roger Deakins, he uses bulbs and flares and little lights, and he demonstrates so we can figure out he can map out the shadows and map out the lighting, and it's pretty wild. Then what he was in his interview I was watching, he builds a 50-foot lighting fixture for the church, and it just casts this light over that whole city, the burning city scene, burning church, and he goes, yeah, we did rehearsals, and then boom, and then it's what is it, like 10 to 12 minutes, 10 15 minutes in the movie. So all this attention to detail and just incredibly visually pleasing stuff, and that's good. All the planning goes throughout it. So the movie, narratively, it's a simple story about you got to get from A to B and tell people whatever. But just the planning, the visual, the direction that Mendes and Deakins need to do for each shot, it's just quite amazing. And I want to thank you. If you haven't seen 1917, I would highly recommend checking it out. It's you're not going to be bored. It's visually stunning. You're going to be wowed at how do they do that? Especially when you look at the plane scene, you're like, how did they make that look like one shot? Little tricks here and there. Don't want to spoil anything. Watch the behind the scenes, and try to watch any Roger Deakins film. Sam Mendes, I like some of his stuff, but Roger Deakins, if you see his name as a cinematographer on a film, watch it. Your eyes are going to fall in love. And have a good day, guys. Be sure to subscribe, hit that like button. Peace.